Let's ring in the new year with a little light or a big lighthouse. This lamp is easy to print and assemble. I'll show you how next on Tina Tries. This beautiful lighthouse lamp is a great accent piece for all of the nautical lovers out there. This file is by SK07 Skipper07 and can be found on MakerWorld. This was printed on an H2D, an X1 carbon, and an A1 mini. I used black, white, and caramel PLA, as well as a transparent PETG for the windows. This print took 44 hours to complete and used 921 grams of filament. This project also requires some super glue and an RGB puck light. I also used a little flame tea light, which is optional. As usual, I will link everything in the description below. Let's check out the builds. Here are the printed pieces. Let's assemble this awesome lighthouse. So we're gonna work from the base up and hopefully everything will be aligned and looking beautiful when it's done. There are no instructions on how to assemble this. It is just pictures. So hopefully I can do this some justice. So first I am gonna start by putting the actual translucent PETG windows that I made into the tower sections that have windows. These actually fit in really snugly, so you don't need to put any super glue on these, which is great. We will, however, need to super glue on the window frames after, but I am gonna wait on that. For now, I am just going to put each of these little window panes into the windows. So there we have our two lighthouse pieces with the windows. We will put the window frames on later. So this does have a puck light that goes inside here. So I want it to be able to come apart so that I can change the batteries as needed. This is a tap light as well, in case you want to turn it on and off by tapping it. The version that I got also comes with a remote, so I can just turn it on and off with the remote. I am going to start by putting the first ring down. This one has the rounded doorway, and that goes on the base. I am not going to glue this one down because I want to be able to take it apart to get my puck light in and out of here. Next up is the base of the deck here. So these pieces are going to get glued together, and this will make the nice little walkway around the lower part of the lighthouse. So I'm just gonna super glue this down with some miter apple CA glue. And make sure that that is pressed down all the way around before I spray it with the activator spray. There we have the bottom of our deck. Next up, I am going to glue the staircase in place. So there is only one place on this base that actually hugs the entire staircase. Because I didn't glue this bottom part of the lighthouse down, you can actually spin it so that it lines up with your staircase. And as I'm gluing this, I'm trying to avoid the edges. That way I don't have the super glue sticking out of my finished piece. So I'm just gonna hold that in place and spray it with my activator spray. And there we have the staircase. Next, I'm going to glue the outside of the staircase on. This sits right up against it, and it also touches the base here. I am just going to put some super glue on the edge of the stairs and a little tiny bit on the base here so that it doesn't poke out. And hold it so that it is flush with your stairs, and then spray it. And there we have the outside of our staircase. Next, I am going to glue the door in here. So this actually sticks out a little bit. I am only going to glue the actual door in by the top of the frame. Then I'm gonna glue the door frame on. That way it won't stick to my base and I can still change the batteries in the puck light. All right, so now that our door is firmly in place and it's even on both sides, I'm gonna glue the door frame on. And I'm doing a very thin layer of glue here so that it doesn't show on my finished piece. And now that my door frame is in place and my door is in, I'm actually going to do some glue on the inside of the door frame here since I only glued it on the top. That way, there's no chance that this door is going to break off when I take the base off. And there we go. Now that door is not going anywhere. So we can put that back onto our base. And I'm gonna twist it a little bit so it's lined up with our stairway. Next up, we have the top part of our deck here. There are these tiny little holes cut out in the side of each of these pylons. So what it looks like they did in the pictures is put some filament in here to make a little railing all the way around. So I am gonna do that. So I have some regular black PLA that's at the end of the spool here, and I am going to thread this through all the way around to make the little railing. This is a very snug fit. So I actually want these to meet up in the middle of the inside of this one. So I am going to pull this end out, cut a piece off, put a little bit of super glue on it, and then put that back in. Okay, there's that side. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. And there we have our first round of the railing. I'm gonna do that 2 more times. There is round 2. So it definitely helps to push it in one side as you feed it through the other. Makes it a little bit faster. And there we have our railing. That is a really clever solution, and I like it. That looks really nice. Next, we are going to glue the top of the deck onto the bottom of the deck. We want to make sure that this is aligned before you spray it. You can see through the slats here, so I am going to avoid putting glue on that part of the deck. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is just putting a little bit on each of the bottom of the slats here, just a little, and then on each of the bottom of the pylons. Make sure my alignment is correct, and I'm going to spray. There is going to be a little bit of a line around here just because that is the nature of the model. It does have a seam. And there we have our deck. Next up, we're going to start putting the pieces of our lighthouse on. This can be aligned any way you want. The doors don't have to match up. You can have it facing however you want it to. So I'm actually going to have this door facing forward, whereas my entrance is going to be on the side here with the stairs. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around the edge here, and then we'll spray it. And there's the first part of the lighthouse. I'm going to put all of my windows aligned with the back side of the lighthouse because that would be the side facing the ocean. So to me, that makes sense, but you can line them up however you want. So I am just going to alternate black, white, and black. These are sized so that they fit in a certain order. So you can't mess up putting them together. They will not fit. I'm just gonna keep putting a little bit of glue around here, spraying it, and put on the rest of these regular lighthouse sections. And there we have our lighthouse sections. I think what I'm gonna do next is glue the window frames on before I glue the top on. So these are just going to get a little bit of super glue on the back. I'm gonna line them up on the windows and spray them. There we have our windows. Next up is this top floor. So I'm just gonna put some glue right here around this edge. It fits perfectly inside of here. And I don't really need to worry about glue poking out because it's underneath. And there is the floor. Next up is this fancy part right here. There is no line on this floor to line everything up. These are both just flat pieces. So I'm going to be very careful about how I align this. I'm gonna put glue on the bottom here, and then I'm gonna stand up and look at it from overhead to make sure that everything is lining up. And there is the fancy part on the top. And last but not least, we have the roof. This also does not have anything to line it up, so I'm gonna have to eyeball it, and hopefully it's pretty close. This time I'm gonna put glue on this piece as opposed to this. That way I don't have anything dripping off of the edge of the roof. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna spray that. And there we have our beautiful lighthouse. But let's see what it looks like with the light inside. Let's see if it works. Very cool. All right, let's turn this off. I'm gonna take out the light. Huh. Interesting. Actually, thought I was done with this build, but let me try something. There is this nice little cutout in the top here that might just fit a tea light. Let me see. I have a box of Bamboo's LED flickering tea lights. Maybe that will work because that would look really cool. Let's see. Oh. Oh, that might be a thing. Let's see. I gotta find out how to secure it without gluing it. Maybe I'll just use some electrical tape. Let's see if that works. That might just work. Let me add some more tape. That works. Just a bit of electrical tape and an X underneath. So there's an idea. You can also tape a little tea light in the top and actually have a flame in your lighthouse. Very cool. Here is the finished lighthouse. I did consider painting the grout on the bricks in this, but it was so beautiful straight off of the printer that I decided to just leave everything as is. It is really pretty lit up, and I love that the little tea light fit in the top. That was not part of the build instructions or the materials for this build, but it works and I love it. I love that the tea light makes this look even more like a real lighthouse. Here are my rankings for this project. Ease of printing, this one gets a 9. This really is a slice and print project. There are a lot of plates to print, but you can consolidate them if you have a bigger print bed. A lot of this I ended up printing on my A1 Mini, so I did each ring one at a time. None of the pre-programmed settings needed to be changed, and I had no issues with printing this. This does require an AMS, or you can choose to print the pieces in a single color like I did. Ease of assembly, this one gets a 9. The assembly is really straightforward and only requires a little bit of super glue. The hardest part of this build was stringing the filament through the railings, but as long as you push the filament from behind as you pull it through, it's really not that bad. I did end up using some self-sticking Velcro to get my tea light to stay in place as opposed to the electrical tape because that was really janky. I went with Velcro because it needs to be removable so that you can switch it on and off as well as change the batteries when that needs to be done. Remember not to glue one of your rings down so that you can change the batteries in your puck light when that needs to be done as well. That's gonna do it for this episode. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking and subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you know when new episodes drop. Drop a comment in the section below. I do try to answer all of my comments personally. Happy New Year, and I will see you on the next one.